There's so little depth here that I'm now realizing. We can put the /1 like right here. What is the biggest piece of diffusion we've got?
Alrighty, I'm setting the 30-minute timer now. Hey guys, I'm Shelby Lee and I'm here today with Brian Tang.
Hello, nice to be here. I'm a DP director. I've worked on a handful of features and commercials and music videos, and I'm here to find out what's gonna happen.
Yeah, well, what's gonna happen is we have a set behind us. It's a vintage kitchen, and we're gonna give you 30 minutes to light it however you want.
That's great, because I feel like that's right in line with most sets and the given time that you're given to light a scene, and there's a lot of options, so I'll figure it out.
Shall we get into it?
Let's do it.
All right.
I want to see maybe if somebody was leaned up against the table here, and we shot into the corner that way, maybe we'll have something to work with there.
So do you have any DPs or movies that you drew inspiration from this particular scene?
The movie that comes to mind is actually Inception, which is far from natural. But if you look at the individual scenes and the way that they're lit, they're extremely natural. There's harsh light coming through the windows, and they're bouncing off the floor. And theoretically, they're being augmented by additional sources of light, but it feels so natural. Being able to pay attention to those fleeting moments of beautiful light, studying how not just recreate them, but keep them consistent for long periods of time is kind of the key. Shelby will be here. She'll be leaning against this back cabinet, and just got news that her mother's dying of cancer. Let's say you found out while leaning over against this, and then you kind of crouch down and find yourself in this space. Backing up, world's closing in, and you're shriveling up into a corner right there. As she's sitting here, there'll be a slash of light that kind of goes across her shoulders into this cabinet. I think we can put the slash, like one right here, and then, yeah, and then one like right here. One of those things that we can do to introduce naturalism is to have sunlight kind of raking through windows that don't exist. So what we used were the 600C and 200X, and we put some spotlight mounts in front of them, shaped the light so that we had a little bit of foreground interest. It also allowed for me to excuse a little bit of skip light off the table back into Shelby's face, using one of the infinity bars, half of it being lit, hidden behind the lip of the counter over there, which was something that we couldn't hide a light because the frame was so wide. So we also put up a 12 by with full grid cloth in front of it. We backed it out here so that we would have a very low level of ambience pushing through and giving us a lift to the whole room. And generally, you'd like to do that whenever there's like window light or sunlight coming through the window, because you're assuming that it's catching the curtains around it, or that there's ambient sky coming through as well. In order to get that skylight coming through, we had a Nova over here, and we had a 600D with a light dome too. I just put these two out here just so that we had as soft of a light as possible, but it was just to further make the slashes of light as real as possible.
All right, we got 15 minutes. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling good. I feel like we have a good plan, and we're speeding along as scheduled. So
Nice.
And final piece is putting a Dana dolly here and maybe a few newer lights and adjusting the intensity on all the units, and it'll be good.
Thanks to our friends at On The Mark, we have plenty of camera and lens packages to choose from. Can you walk me through why you chose this setup?
I chose the Arri Alexa because it's a staple of the film industry and it's very familiar. I just trust that the camera has a dynamic range and color depth that's going to capture the scene properly. I've also used the Atlas lens line, especially since she's going to be back up against a wall. You can't rely on shallow depth of field as much as you normally would. So to have an anamorphic lens that falls off on the top and bottom naturally is another way that we're going to be able to tell the story emotionally.
Alrighty, Brian, we're out of time.
All right, well, I'm ready. I'm ready to shoot.
Go for it.
Scene one, take one. ready. How are we feeling?
I feel great. I'm really happy with the footage. I love your performance, and I think we have some incredible footage to work with.
Awesome.
So, yeah,
So is that a wrap?
that's a wrap.
Well, I know I had a lot of fun. How do you think it went?
I had a lot of fun too. I'm really happy with the footage. I think that we made use of a lot of good pieces of gear. Thank you so much for Aperture. It's incredible to have such a diverse set of lights that we can use to create any scene that we want and manipulate them in so many different ways.
Well, thank you for your time and your talent, and hopefully we'll see you again.
Yeah, absolutely. This was fun.
Shall we get into it?
Let's do it.
All right.
Perfect. All right, let's cut off. Great job, y'all. Great job. Love that.